Hello everyone! I have way too much free time this weekend, so I decided I'm going to make a quick video of my console collection. This is just going to be a handheld one, so I'm trying to avoid crazy pens and so on and so forth. We are going to see how it goes. So I think I'm going to go in order of when a particular console was launched. So let's start with the granddaddy, which is the Atari 2600. Funnily enough, it was obviously not called the 2600 when it was originally launched. It was called the Atari VCS. It stands for, guessing, Atari Video Computer System or whatnot. I hope you will appreciate the wood grain. It's awesome, isn't it? So anyway, 1977 vintage. Yay! Next one is going to be a competitor of the 2600. It's the Mattel Intellivision. Let's find where is the Intellivision. I think, oh yeah, I think I can see it. Let me open this thing. There you go, hiding right here. The Mattel Intellivision from 1979. Awesomeness, awesome wood grain as well. So that's that. Next one is we are jumping forward in a big way in time. We are jumping to 1982. It's going to be the ColecoVision. Let's find the ColecoVision. Oh yeah, it's riding down here. There you go. No more wood grain. It has a bunch of awesome arcade conversions, and mine is actually, I believe, from Canada. Just judging by the English and French text on the front and whatnot. So we are going really quickly, going forward in time. It's going to be the 5200. This is one of my newer consoles. Some of you might have seen, I was working on it the other week. I've added a... Where is it? Oh yeah, it's right here. I've added a... No, it's not here. Oh yeah, it's up right here. Alright. This is the 5200 up here from, again, 1982. I've been adding a composite out. That's how I like to have my older consoles, to every single one of them to have a composite out. This one had RF only, so you can imagine how not awesome the image quality was. Anyway, moving right along, next one is the NES, yay! My NES is right here. This guy is obviously from 1983. Sold 62 million units. And of course, in the US, this was the first successful console after the so-called video game crash. So there you have it, the NES. Moving right along, the Sega Master System. It is pretty much a failed console in the US. It never really successful, but it did found success in in Europe and in Brazil, interestingly enough. So anyway, came out in 1985. Moving along, the TurboGrafx 16 from NEC. I believe it's going to be, yeah, it's right here. So this guy came out 2 years later in 1987. It's somewhere in between in terms of capabilities. It is somewhere in between the NES, the 8-bit and the 16-bit consoles. There are a bunch of really awesome games on there. Alrighty, next one. The Neo Geo AES, the Arcade Entertainment System. This is from 1990. You can play a bunch of straight arcade style games on it, so no really conversion was actually taking place. was just running, you know, the actual ROMs from the arcade machines. So the next one is going to be the Super Nintendo. This is from 1990 as well. There are loads of awesome games on it. You know, at one point I'm going to make a video, or I'm thinking about making a video of every single, you know, consoles I own, but for now this is just going to be a preview. So the next one is the Atari Jaguar. Let's see, it's going to be right here. Again, 1993, not a very successful one, only sold 250,000 units. Has a pretty good port of Doom on it, I think. Yeah. So next one is going to be my only Commodore console, the Commodore Amiga CD32, hiding right here. Again, this is not going to be, this is the first CD-based console I own, at least. This was not very successful in the US, but it was not a very successful console whatsoever, only sold like 100,000 units or so. But I think this was pretty much the last product Commodore released before it went bankrupt. It's pretty much an Amiga 1200 computer with no keyboard and, you know, and so on and so forth. So next one, the Panasonic 3DO. It's actually, you know, interestingly enough, there are quite a few manufacturers who came out with the 3DOs. I actually own two Panasonic ones. I own the FZ10 and I own the FZ1. The FZ1 came out first, and then the FZ1 came out in 1993, bit more successful than the Amiga CD32, so 2 million units. Alright, let's see what's next. The Sega Saturn. It's right here, hiding in plain sight. It was I never worked on this one, but based on what I read, it was pretty difficult to work with. So anyway, Sega Saturn from 1994. And in the same year came out the Sega 32X. It's sitting on the top. Yeah, somehow I missed oh yeah, I missed a bunch of consoles. Oh no. And yeah, this is the 32X, and obviously I own the Sega Genesis as well. The Sega Genesis came out in '88. The 32X came out in the same year as the Sega Saturn in Japan, 1994. Alright, PlayStation 1. I actually have 3 PlayStation 1s for some reason. Here is one of the older ones. You know, here's a slim version, and then I have one that's boxed as well. So there you go, PlayStation 1. Next one, Nintendo 64. Hiding right here from 1996. It's a pretty successful console, sold 32.9 million units. I think loads of, you know, people remember loads of games from Super Mario to James Bond to Zelda and whatnot. So it's that. Next one is going to be Sega Dreamcast from '98. Where is my Dreamcast? Oh yeah, right here. This was actually the first console I personally owned. I was never really a console person back in the day. Let me move so there's not much glare. This is, again, according to many people, this is a failed console. This is Sega's last console, obviously. It came out in 1998, sold 10.6 million copies, or 10.6 million units, I should say. Next one is going to be a much more successful one. It's going to be the PlayStation 2. Let's see, I only own a slim version. It's super small actually, slim and clearly very dirty one. Anyway, it came out in 2000 and it sold a crazy 155 million units. Just imagine that. It's pretty crazy, isn't it? Next one of my favorite consoles, the Microsoft Xbox. I own two of those. Here's a regular one, and then here's a launch special edition one. I believe it's signed by Bill Gates and whatnot. So that's pretty cool. Going on, the Xbox, the original Xbox came out in 2001. And that was obviously Microsoft's first console. So next one is going to be the GameCube. Where is my GameCube? Let's see. Oh yeah, found it. Clearly I actually own two GameCubes for some reason. Came out in 2001, sold 21.7 million units. So I guess it's kind of just as successful as, you know, as the Xbox. That's that. Let's see what's next. It's going to be the Xbox 360 from 2005. This is when with the Xbox and the Xbox 360, this is when I decided that hey, I'm only going to game on consoles. I only have a Halo Reach edition of the Xbox 360, and that lasted quite long. I was really fond of, you know, of a ton of games, you know, on the Xbox 360. I really loved it. So anyway, it came out in 2005, 14 years ago. Can you imagine that? It's crazy, isn't it? Next one is the Nintendo Wii, which is, according to some people, just a repackaged GameCube with a new controller, motion controls. But anyway, came out in 2006, sold more than 100 million units. So I guess Nintendo might know what it's doing. So anyway, next one is the PlayStation 3. I have a super awesome version of the PlayStation 3, the Diablo 3 edition. It came out in, let's see, it came out in 2006. And I'm super happy with it. Yeah, it sold 80. I think in the end, I think it outsold the Xbox 360 combined. But yeah, that was pretty much a head-to-head with the Xbox 360. Alright, so the next one is going to be the Ouya, the crowd-funded console, a micro console, I should say. It is pretty much a failed console as well. Sold 58 million. Oh, sorry, almost 58,000 units. So there you go. And this is obviously from 2013, and that is, you know, introducing us to the current generation of consoles. The first, the Microsoft Xbox One. It's right here, hiding right here. Came out again in 2013, almost 6 years ago. Pretty crazy. And that is pretty much the last console I have in this room. I'm going to show you the two other consoles I actually regularly play still. See you later. This is my PlayStation 4. I have no signs for it and whatnot because this is in the living room. But yeah, it came out in 2013 as well. And the last home console I own, I guess I don't own any handhelds. So anyway, the last one is the Nintendo Switch. Again, this is the Diablo 3 edition as well. Yeah, these are the last two consoles I regularly use, and this guy came out in 2017. So that's going to be it for today. I hope you enjoyed this quick tour of my console collection. Bye!